everyone, and welcome back. My name is Moth, or Kristen, or whatever. I don't care what you want to call me. There's my dog in the background. He's being cute. Last time I left off, it was a video of me outside of my place of work, which I love. For now, people get burnt out and they forget why they love the place that they worked. I'm hoping that doesn't happen for a while. I still haven't heard from James. I haven't heard anything from him. No letters, no calls, no nothing. I'm getting my finger tattoo updated tomorrow afternoon. I'm really excited about that. And I'm setting up an appointment to get another tattoo on my thigh for the 17th of November. Other than that, nothing big has been going on. I've been staying at my mom's house, which is why this room looks different than I've been in, because I'm at my sister's room, which is where I've been sleeping. I'm should be getting my first paycheck soon, so I get to go home and sleep at my own house, which would be nice. So this is my finger tattoo that I'm getting fixed up. It's my wedding date. As you can probably see, it's not exactly the best, but it'll get better, I'm hoping. I got my nails done. They're pretty. They're black and purple, and there's shiny bits in them. You can kind of see them on camera. I bought weed legally at a dispensary, 2 days ago. Nerve-wracking as all get out. And the only reason I did it is because I was in a car accident on Monday. And I haven't taken really anything to help with the pain. I've got some pretty serious bruises. I have one here from the seatbelt. I was passenger, my mom was driving, and my little brother and my dog were in the back seat. My dog got thrown to the front because he was unrestrained, but that's because he's a dog, which I know you're supposed to have them in a seatbelt or something, but we were test driving a car, and I didn't think to bring the seatbelt from my car over to the car we were testing. I'm glad we didn't, because he only wears a collar, and he would have choked, and he probably would have died. We're very lucky to be out of the situation we found ourselves in, because it could have gotten really bad. My mom had to be brought to the hospital because her neck hurt and her back hurt, and they wanted to make sure she didn't break anything. Michael, my brother, ended up with a couple of bruises and a cut open pinky toe, and I ended up with bruises all the way across my body, and then right across the tops of my thighs, and back pain and neck pain, and just general anxiety about driving. My dad, who was at work when this happened, hasn't really been the same since. He thought that we were gonna die, so, of course he did, because he's overdramatic too. But he took 4 days off of work and was driving us around because he didn't want us to get hurt. And the worst part is that we were about an hour away from home. Maybe not an hour, maybe about half an hour. So I had to drive home after getting in that accident. And I was told that I could go to the hospital and get seen, and that it would be a good idea, but he wasn't going to force me, because I could answer all the questions, who's the president, what's the year, what's been happening, and all that kind of stuff. And he said that I was probably fine. I didn't have a concussion. I didn't feel dizzy or anything. And so he said that basically if I wanted to go, he wouldn't tell me no. But if I didn't want to go, that he wouldn't tell me no. So I ended up going home because Michael didn't need to go to the hospital and Tequila couldn't go. And I couldn't just leave them there to deal with the shit that I ended up dealing with. And when I got back to my car, we weren't even a block away from the mechanic where we picked up the car when we didn't have to stop. The people going this way didn't have to stop. The people going this way had to stop. So the guy over here didn't see us going this way at 25 miles an hour, and he just goes, and we hit his rear right tire. Airbags deployed, the glass on the windshield was broken. When I was reading Facebook when this guy pulled out in front of us. I looked up with just enough time to say, Mom, truck. And then everything went black. And I woke up. And like, you know, in the movies when they show a crash and they show somebody running towards them and it's like foggy kind of, and like you can't really tell exactly what's happening. There's like two people, but they're like this, but it's the same person. I'm sure you understand what I mean. We crashed right in front of there was a cemetery, and then across the road was like essentially an Ace Hardware or like a hardware store or something like that. And the two people that were in there working as cashiers ran out, got me and Michael out of the car and Tequila. Mom had to stay put because she was in so much pain. And then we went out and we sat down and I looked at the car, and all I remember is like the smell of the smoke from the airbags deploying and getting out of the car. I put down my seat and I crawled through because my door was jammed. I couldn't get out. I rolled down my window, gave my dog to my brother, and I climbed out the back seat. My dog ended up thrown to my feet, and the whole dashboard was caved in enough that I probably could have lost my feet if I had been just a couple inches farther up, which I do. I sit with my feet all the way against the front. That way if something happens, I'm braced. Like if we stop real quick, that way I don't like lurch forward and come back. But I didn't do that because I felt safe. And then I wasn't. So on Wednesday, I went to a neighboring town. Or no, it would have been Thursday. I went to a neighboring town and I seen my best friend, and it was about an hour drive from where I work. I left with an hour and 15 minutes to spare. It started to hail. Every time that I came to a stop that I had to turn or somebody was turning into traffic, I had a panic attack. And it was so bad. I don't remember most of the drive home. I don't remember most of the day at work because my brain just couldn't unfocus on what happened and focus on what needed to happen. I drove for an hour and 15 minutes, and I remember about 20 minutes of it. I remember the panic attacks, but I don't remember the in-between. I don't remember how I got into such a panic, what had happened. I know I stopped at a shoe store. I mean, there's a shoe bag right there, but I don't remember it. And it was just, when there are other people in my car, I have the ability to focus on them and the road, and I'm distracted. My subconscious is distracted enough that I don't panic. But when it's just me in the car, my brain doesn't know that we're not in danger. So I was driving home last night from work at 11:30 at night. No one else was on the road, and it took me 10 minutes to get home when the drive is only a 4-minute drive. It wasn't raining. It wasn't busy. It was dark. And I couldn't get myself to go any faster than 5 miles under the speed limit. And I work in a place where we have 60 mile per hour or 55 mile per hour or whatever, and outside of our building, and I went 35. Luckily nobody was behind me, nobody was trying to get around me, nothing. I went 35. I could not make myself go any faster. And when it got to 35, I went down to 25. When it got down to 25, I was at 20, because I knew that I wouldn't make it up the hill in my Jeep if I was going anything less than 20. But my every instinct told me to get off the road and walk home. That's a mile, if even a little bit more. I wasn't walking home. I was wearing a dress. I wasn't wearing a coat. I wasn't going to get a room at the hotel I work at because we didn't have anything. There was absolutely nothing I could do besides drive home. But I took my time because I couldn't do it any other way. I tried. And I don't know how long this is going to affect me, because I've never been in any sort of accident. We may have hit a deer once, or a deer hit us, or whatever, because deer. But I've never been in any kind of accident. And it's terrifying. And I don't want to keep going to work, but I know I have to work. I feel so lost without James. And I know I sound like one of those girls that I hate, where everything's all about their significant other. But if James was here, one, I wouldn't be staying with my mom. I'd be at home, because he'd still be working, and we'd be making money, and I wouldn't have to stay at my mom's until my first paycheck, or, whatever. But I miss him, and I haven't heard from him in 4 weeks. When I got married, this wasn't the plan. The plan changed before we got married, but it didn't include this, and I don't know what to do anymore. But I guess thank you for listening. I guess I just needed to talk. It's been a very stressful week. And I'm over it. I want things to go back and be good and normal, and I just want to be okay again. Thanks again for listening, and I will try to I'm gonna try to start doing vlogs and stuff on Mondays or Tuesdays, since those are the days I have off. But yeah, and I will probably make a video tomorrow about my tattoo. But thank you guys, all 2 of you right now. Bye guys.